Okay, let me see. Another question here from Mike. He says, okay, cool. Question: how often would you suggest to do a system scan? I'm dealing with the government folks who want to do it weekly, every 2 weeks, weekly, or monthly. What would you say about that one, Chris?
It just depends on where your environment is. I know for my environment, we do it weekly. There was another thing, what's it called? We was just dealing with something recently. I forgot the name of it, but we was trying to figure out when to scan that. What's it called? Do you know, Bruce? Like when you put, for example, everything in. I'll come back to you on that. But for my system, we just do it weekly. If it comes back to me, I'll bring it up to you, Bruce, later. But we do it weekly here.
Yeah, no problem. So it would depend on what the organization's policy is. Number one, the organization makes that determination. But one thing I've noticed, just a couple issues. For one, the scans are going to interrupt business and mission operations. You don't want to be doing scans when the main bulk of your business is being done. So that's why a lot of times, whether it's weekly or monthly or whatever, the frequency of the scanning shouldn't interrupt the actual business operations of what you're doing, whether it's been private sector or the public sector, government or whatever. That's one thing I've noticed that they'll do is that they won't, for example, they'll scan the server separate than when they scan the workstations. Because and the reason why is because if you're doing a scan on the workstations Monday through Friday or once a week or whatever, and you're doing it at the end of the day when people are already going home or whatever, and it's just once a week, that's cool. But think about it like this: if you have a server and your server's 24 hours a day because everybody's hitting it, everybody's using it, and you scan it, and now you've put an extra burden on that server, and you can't, like, your operations slow down, right? Whether you're processing payments or you're processing logistics overseas or whatever, it's going to take some of the resources of your system. So what I've noticed is in all environments I've worked in, private or public, the servers will be done once a week. Your workstations or whatever, you could do those every 3 days or something. You can do those twice a week or whatever. Usually at the end of the day, the time frame is also important. The end of the day when everybody's gone, or maybe you have systems all over the world, so the time zone is going to be different. But end of the day when people are gone, and then workstation servers maybe once a week on the weekends, something like that. So I hope that gives you some insight.